Hi there and welcome to the Jaeger Precision YouTube channel. If you're a returning subscriber, thanks for joining me again. If you're not and you're new to the channel, it's free. Go and hit the subscribe and be alerted when new videos come out, which at the moment is every single day. This is part 2 of the PP19. I did do a short video this not long ago, just overviewing how I have it set up, but there's things that need to be rectified on this thing. And we're going to refresh all the metal parts. There's nothing wrong with them. They're not corroded really in any way, but I want to give this build a completely different look. So we're going to start stripping bits and pieces off it. I'm currently running a EOTech on the side, which I can tell you what age that is. If we just pop it off the top of the rifle there. For those that want to know, it is a 2008 model, so I am looking for parts for these. I do want to get one of these thumb screws for my other one. I also want to get some replacement shrouds and replacement battery caps. This one I don't think is too bad, but the other one, the connectors are loose. But you know, the only place you can get this stuff is from EOTech themselves. If anyone's in the US and you can help me out just by getting me some spare bits and pieces like this, let me know, get in touch, it would be heavily appreciated. But let's pull that thing off here. And this is mostly made of steel. We've got a Magpul front end on there, which what we'll do, we'll take that off first. I think this tends to be pretty tight, so let's see about getting this off here. We could pop the top off. The Magpul front end was very easy to fit, just went straight on. And this is one of the parts we need to replace because this is broken. So let's see if I can tap that out with a hammer. So you'll see how battered that latch actually is, and it's broken, of course. So if we push that off the front there, we can pull the Magpul handguard off. I'm hoping. Oh god, I think it was tight when I fitted it. Let's pull the front end off to make this easier for ourselves. I think that's a 2mm. We'll pull this off as well. Go. 2 pins. You can pop the front sight off now, and the broken handguard piece. Where's that pin? It was also held in like an M4 body pin. Oh. And the fit on this is so good. You'll see there's a bit of marring up of the plastic here, and because I wanted a tight fit on this, I just lined it up with the steel receiver and just sent it home. And what that means is we haven't got to, you know, get a file in there or start cutting up plastic. It was literally just mold it to the gun. You'll see remnants of old installs here. I think that's something to do with the old handguard. So front end is off. We can now tap the pin out for this. There's also 2mm grub screws on the bottom. What I'll probably do is order some replacement grub screws, because these have seen better days. So if I can't get LCT ones, what I'll do is I'll just find a screw manufacturer and get some of those. I need to tap this pin out next. Which side we're going to tap this out? Let's tap it out from that side. Comes out pretty easy. And we can pop the top cover up, and then this will slide off there. We can remove this piece if we loosen off the grub screw in there, like so. Pop that piece off. We need to remove this. I just know you want to get something on that round section and just nip it off like that, and then you should be able to turn it by hand. Be nice if they did this with like a little socket on it or something. Anyway, so we've got all that off here. To take these completely apart, we actually do need to drop the outer barrel and stuff off, because you'll see that the arm for the hop goes through the receiver on top of the barrel there, and that's why they can be a bit of a pain to take apart. Let's pop the grip off here. So I'm going to leave all the polymer parts black. So rotate that 180 degrees, and then it should pop out at the bottom there. That's free. Okay, let's pop the motor off. I'm currently running an SHS motor. I think I am going to upgrade this to a warhead, like maybe like a base warhead. Got one of their black motors in my Cure F. I do like it, so it would be nice to try the base out. So this is where we need to back this screw off. There's also a hidden screw just here, which we loosen off. I think it's a 1.5. Yep. So after we've loosened that off, we can actually pull up this stock piece, put some pliers on it like that, and then yeah, tapped it out like that. So that can come off. We'll remove that grub screw so it doesn't get lost. We'll remove this one as well. It's a 2mm, but it's slightly longer. We'll remove these two screws from the hop unit. Like so. And then we need to pull the outer barrel off like so, like that, and then we can pull the hop unit forward, and then that enables us to swivel out the gearbox and of course remove the inner barrel. You'll see this barrel's seen better days. It is a Crazy Jet barrel. It's one of the early ones with a hot shot rubber. So a lot of this is riveted on, so I'm not sure how we're going to get around that. Let's put that together. So a lot of this stuff is riveted together, which is fine. The sling point, which I'm sure they bend round to get on there. And there's the sling point removed, and I've got a sweat on. Oh, Jesus. So I've got the stock. Pop that to one side. Oh, right. I decided to fully commit to this build and drill this rivet out. So if I can't find an exact rivet like an LCT one, I'll either get one made or I'll find another solution. So I've got to remember when that goes back in, we need to pop the spring under tension. So now with that pin removed, we can take the magwell out, which is plastic. So that would have just complicated the whole process. So now we have the upper receiver or the lower receiver or the main body, whatever you call it, completely free. So we've got that free. Let's pull that out. Charging handle wise, you can see the absolute mess that this guy made. Let's see if I can remove this. So you can see he made a complete mess of this part. But what we can do, we can clean this up. He's made a mess of that as well. It does go in there and it does hold. So I think best we can do is strip all this, get all the scratches off, strip it down, and then coat it. And then it can go back on there and it can look nice and new and pretty. Let's take that grub screw out there. So I've got some choices of colour. So front sight. Do we want to get into coating this? I hope all the people that do Cerakote do it as thorough as I do. I'm going to be discarding that part, so I need to get in my head. So that's going to be coated. We're going to be doing some parts in black, so that can go black. This can go black. This part, is this 2 parts or is it 1 part? Let's find out. Right, that does come out, so black. Let's see. Everything's bloody riveted on these. Right, this is off. This is going to be an issue though. We could try and just coat it like that, or find a way for it to sit out. I'm not going to remove that without damaging it, and I don't really want to get replacing that part. The other option is we leave all these parts as they are, which do have a steel look to them, so that's probably an easier thing to do. But we want to coat the top cover, we want to coat the receiver, so these will go together like so. Then we can get rid of that iWholesale's marking that they do when they bring stuff in. This is a very old gun, so this would have been a long time ago. So we can coat the receiver, we can coat the stock. Plastic parts are going to be black anyway. We could do the handguard, top handguard. We do need to do this because it is a mess. It looks awful. So we'll do those bits. I don't know. I'll take it with me into the old workshop and I'll decide that when it comes to it. So this has been a stupidly long video. There's going to be lots I'm going to have to edit out, but we've got the PP19 completely disassembled body wise. Gearbox is still together. We're going to find a motor for this. I probably want to put like a warhead base in there. The gearbox is pretty much sweet. It'll just get like a service, and any other parts we do need to get a barrel for it, so I'll need to measure that. So barrel wise, we are going to need to make one to the size of 260 millimeters. So that's part 2 of the PP19. Obviously part 3 is after this thing's going to be Cerakote, because that's going to take a bit of time and a while for me to do. So thanks for tuning in to another of one of my hard to follow videos. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.